This episode of Pop Goes the Culture is brought to you by Kendra Fardella. Thanks for being a Pop Goes the Culture Patreon contributor. To get your name at the top of a Pop Goes the Culture episode, become a Patreon subscriber for just $4.99 a month. It's easy. By doing so, you'll help us keep Pop Goes the Culture coming to you every day. And as a thank you, we'll put your name at the top of a Pop Goes the Culture episode in the future. Thanks to all my Patreon contributors. Hi, I'm David Levin, and welcome to Pop Goes the Culture. Your favorite stars spill the beans on their behind-the-scenes stories of your favorite TV shows. Today, Marina Sirtis and I talk about her audition for Deanna Troi on Star Trek The Next Generation. She tells us what that first year was like. She knew nothing about Star Trek before she got started, but she learned fast. And Marina also tells us about the critical brickbats of the first year of the series. Here's Marina Sirtis. Now, I understand that you only had a tiny little knowledge of Star Trek prior to that?
Pretty much no knowledge of Star Trek. I mean, I knew who the characters were, which just shows how important a show it was, because I'd never seen the show, but I knew who Kirk was and Spock and Uhura and all those, all the people. But I'd never seen the show.
I understand that you only saw that there was one episode that you kept seeing over and
yeah,
over. Tell me about that.
I decided I should maybe watch Star Trek as I was auditioning for it. And every time I turned the TV on to watch a rerun, it was always the one with the flower people, where they had daisies painted on their faces. And I just remember thinking, now when they shot this, didn't they kind of have a clue that this was going to be dated in about 3 years? This was going to be like so of the time. And I think it's an episode that Chekhov gets kissed or something too. So, but that was the one episode I saw over and over again. Not one of the great episodes, I think.
Well, at that point, hippies were on everything.
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island, and it's just like, I always thought, even then, when I was a kid, hippies on Star Trek just didn't make any sense.
Well, it's like they go to this planet and they're hippies, and they're like, oh, they went from Woodstock to Alpha, Beta, whatever, took the shuttle.
Well, what did you think about that? I mean, here now you're going to be part of this sort of thing. What did you know of, other than the characters? Were you aware of the fan base? Were you aware of the movies? Were you aware of any of that stuff?
Ironically, just before I started auditioning for Star Trek 4 came out, and a girlfriend of mine was visiting from England, and she said, we have to go see it because it's not going to come out for 6 months in England, and I want to see it. And I was literally dragged to the theatre kicking and screaming because I didn't want to see it at all. And I really enjoyed it, so that was kind of a foreteller of the future. I had no clue about the fan base. I mean, I kind of had an idea that there were Star Trek conventions. I didn't know what that entailed. And in fact, when you're doing TV, you start work in July, but you don't air until September, the new season. So we were working in this kind of little vacuum for a few months, and then suddenly the press descended on us en masse because we were the new Star Trek show. And I got really scared because it was the first time I'd done anything in my career that was going to be scrutinized so closely. And we got some really horrible reviews that first year. They said that my accent was, I was trying to do this vague European / Eastern European accent that wasn't placeable anywhere because I was from a different planet. And in the Rolling Stone, it said that it sounded like I came from Long Island. And I thought, well, I should keep this. If everyone ever asks me if I do American, I should just show them, this little review. And the fans weren't happy that we were around either, which was the other thing that people forget. They were really miffed that we were coming on the air. They were quite happy watching reruns of their favorite characters, and we were the imposters. And it took about 2.5 years, 3 years before they warmed to us, really.
What was? I understand when you auditioned, or originally you and Denise Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me about that?
Yeah, Denise was auditioning for Troi, and I was auditioning for Tasha because the character description in the breakdowns, physically, we were the other person. And about 3 auditions in, I was walking out of the trailer, and they called me back and said, we want you to read this other part, and we'll give you an hour to look over the scenes. And they put me in a room, and I you have a lot of time to work on stuff usually, at least a day or so. And now I had an hour to do 3 scenes. So I decided the only thing I could do was learn the scenes in that hour and just see what happened in the room. I'm of Greek descent, so I'm quite an emotional person, and the scenes were quite emotional, and I just let rip. I was like writhing around on the floor. And they liked it, I suppose. And so when I asked the director, Corey Allen, why they'd switched us over, he said that they sensed an empathy in me that the character of Troi needed. What they sensed in me actually was sheer terror. I don't know about empathy, but whatever it was, it worked. So I'm quite happy 18 years on to be telling these stories.
That's it for now. In part 3, Marina Sirtis lets us know what Gene Roddenberry was like. Marina gets the full-on Star Trek fan experience, the moment when she suddenly realized all the people were there to see her. It's a look inside one of my favorite shows. Till then, what was your favorite episode of Star Trek The Next Generation? Let us know in the comments. For now, subscribe, become a Patreon contributor, and we will see you next time. Hey, want to talk to celebrities yourself? Become a Patreon subscriber and then tune in to Ask Them Yourself.